PD Beats here from Pop Turn is speaking to Peter Lindell about Descendants, The Rise of Red, coming to Disney Plus July 12th. Welcome to the show, man. Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me, Peter. Nice to meet you.
It's so crazy because I remember when the film was announced, even before you were cast. Like, I remember when a new Descendants movie was coming out, and now it's like going to be out pretty soon. Like, it's pretty crazy to think about, right?
It's been a journey, and it's been a crazy journey since the first movie came out years ago. I mean, this franchise has been in the works for like a generation of kids, for my generation. So being a part of it is so cool.
So it's great that you brought that up because, you know, so much kind of happened before you went to camera on Rise of Red, right? Like, so like there's like kind of auditions and costumes and all that stuff. And so in a lot of ways, from an acting storyteller perspective, Peter, it could be seen as two journeys, right? Before filming something or after filming something. Or does it feel like one big journey with multiple steps from a storytelling acting perspective?
I don't know. I definitely classify it as maybe one journey. It's maybe more so a bunch of mini journeys because you audition, right?
Yeah.
And you get the breakdown in your email and you're like, what is this? What's going on? And you do the audition, you're like, this character's awesome, or maybe not, or whatever. And then maybe you hear nothing back, you know? But then you get the call back and that's an incredible feeling. Then you get the part and then you're going crazy and then you're shooting the movie and now you're here doing press with Petey and life is great.
I know, it's so crazy. Yeah, it's like the life of an actor is really on to the next until you're sucked back in, right? For press, basically, right?
Yep, basically.
No, it's really cool. I feel like, you know, yourself and a lot of people that were like your colleagues that were cast for this film were in a really unique situation because, like, you know what's going on in a little bit of a sense because, like, you're part of like the Descendants world and that's a big established world already. But then, like, new characters, new story, and everything. Like, so you don't know what's going on with that a little bit too, right? So did you think about that? Like, you knew what was going on, but at the same time, you didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, and it's difficult too because you want to like give honor to the past three films as well. But you're right, it's a new story. It's a cast full of wonderful new characters, wonderful new actors, and I think it's really fun in that way because we're diving into a new world, and I hope that the fans are gonna love that. I mean, we're going to Wonderland and we're going down the rabbit hole.
Without big kind of spoilers, what was it like playing Morgie? What did you know about it? Did you audition for that character specifically?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
I auditioned for Morgie, and the movie was called Pocket Watch back then.
Yep.
And I didn't even know.
I remember when it was announced as that. I was like, Descendants movie,
Right?
Pocket Watch.
Yeah, and I didn't even know it was a Descendants movie when I first auditioned. I was like, okay, so I'm playing this guy named Morgie. He's kind of funny and evil and wicked, but also lovable because he's a little ignorant. And I'm like, this is great. And then I found out it was a Descendants movie, and I was like, oh my God, this is incredible. And here we are. I mean, yeah, Morgie's great. He's such a fun character to play.
Absolutely. You know, when you start as like an actor, there is this like go where the opportunities go, right? But did you ever think that you were gonna be in a situation where you were gonna work like on a musical where there was like dancing and like singing? Like, I'm just curious about that specifically because I feel like you can plan, but you can't in a lot of ways too.
Yeah, yeah, you can plan as much as possible until life throws you for a loop. It will. But yeah, I mean, I love musicals. I grew up in choir, and then I started like my acting experience started with opera and musical theater. So that's the world that I love. It's my origins. So a movie musical was actually like very high up on the bucket list. And I mean, coming right around and doing it here, I was like, that's incredible. I want to do another. But yeah, totally. I mean, as an actor, you take what comes to you and you love it, but there's definitely some things that you have a special place in your heart for.
Absolutely. So shifting gears a little bit, you know, to other things. I mean, it's pretty cool. You have a lot of other kind of hobbies and interests as well. Like you're a pilot.
I am, yeah.
Which is awesome. You know, like which one came first? Like your interest in acting or your interest in being a pilot?
It's like the chicken or the egg. You ever heard that?
Did you want to be an actor who was a pilot, and you could basically be like a pilot who acts and then be an actor who's also a pilot? Is that what you wanted to do?
Basically, I'm just giving Tom Cruise a run for his money. But no, I started acting when I was super young. You can't get your pilot's license until you're 17 in the
Yes.
US. So I started my training around 16, and then I got my private when I was 17, and then I got my commercial, and I'm taking my check ride in 2 weeks for my multi-engine license.
Amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah. And
So
it's
that would be a
wonderful.
dream then to like, act and direct and do and like in a movie about like a pilot where you're actually like flying a plane. Like, can you imagine that?
100%. Yeah. No, that is the dream. Like totally like Mission Impossible, Born Identity, those type of movies I think I would love to do. The action, the adventure.
Well, it's a good segue too, because you work on something like Descendants Rise of Red, and it's the scale is just big everywhere, right? Like when it looks like the amount of people, and you're bumping into a lot of crew and you're seeing a lot of things happening. It's a lot of moving parts, right? So I'm wondering, like, you're acting in this film as Morgie, but like, do you ever kind of like, did you get really like interested in like going behind the camera at all, like writing, producing, directing after like being part of that specifically? Like, I'm just curious about that.
Totally. I mean, so I go to school in LA. I'm gonna be a senior at LMU. And I work a lot with the film department there. And my roommate's actually I have a sound designer, 2 filmmakers, and another actress. And so I'm constantly collaborating behind the camera, in front of the camera. It's definitely another passion of mine. I mean, being on Rise of Red, everything is huge, and that is super fun to learn from the professionals, to talk to people who have been doing it their whole life. It's been an incredible experience.
Absolutely. Do you have a favorite character in Rise of Red besides Morgie that you can't wait for people to check out when it drops on Disney Plus?
I think I'd have to go with my buddy Josh. And
I just spoke to Josh. Josh has been a 3-time guest on this show. Josh is a
No
good friend
way.
of the show.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. You
I
tell
love that.
him Petey Beat says hi after this. He's gonna, like, I just talked to Josh.
Wonderful. I will. Yeah, he's one of my good buddies, and Hook and Morgie are tight on set. He's good. He's got a good British accent. You guys are gonna love it.
Oh no. I remember too. Like I remember seeing a lot of the cast being like, "Oh my goodness! Like I know this person. I've interviewed this person."
It's a wonderful cast. I mean, so many great people.
Yeah, so good, man. And you know what? Like you got to work with a lot of really cool, amazing people, but a lot of people got to work with Peter Lindell, man. I just want to say that.
There you go. That's the perspective, and that's why we keep you around, Peter.
Well, no, it's just like it's important, man. Like, to think about, like, you're really good in this movie. You know what I mean? Like, you're so good. Like, I can't wait for people to see your performance as Morgie in this. And it's weird. Like, you make this movie, you wrap, and then it's really out of your hands until it's out, right? If you think about it.
Yeah. And I went through that in my head, and it's a little bit daunting because, especially with like when you're working with like a Disney Plus movie, this thing will be there beyond my life. Yeah. Like I will pass away, and technically it could still be out there. So
no, absolutely, it's true to think about. Now, like I asked you about the journeys and about auditioning. This is the first time I'm asking a question. This is exclusive for Peter Lindell. That if it goes well, I might use this for other interviews as well. I just want to know: are you ever comfortable with Morgie and knowing this character and like establishing? Like, do you have situations where like you're ever like, yes, I know this character, we're good to go? Or was it kind of that thing where you were always learning about this character and you were kind of like, trying to learn things as you go? Like, I'm just curious about that specifically.
Sure. Well, I think acting is a learning process always, and it's a form of communication. So when I'm on set working with other actors, we're communicating with each other, and I'm learning about myself, about them. And in that moment, Morgie changes. Morgie becomes a different person. But beyond that, I think it's been a learning process always. Working with the script initially, was discovering who Morgie was.
Yep.
Movement, because we're dancing as well. How does Morgie dance? How does he sing? All sorts of these different things, and that's really fun to discover that. I think there are points maybe where I'm not as Morgie as I could be, but I never felt that when I was filming. More so like hopping in between other characters when I'm doing other stuff. And I think that's just the life of an actor, where you have to learn to communicate between the different worlds that you're working with.
Yeah, you have a guitar and a piano down there. I just want to go get the electric drum set. And I want to jam, man. Let's jam.
Right? We could create a band.
We could create a band and just do a jam. Like PD Beats, I was a drummer in bands growing up. That was where it came from.
PD Beats and Peter Guitar. That doesn't really rhyme.
Oh my God. Yeah. PBPL or something. It could be like a new Black
something
Keys
like that.
Something
I'm thinking Hollywood Bowl, 3 weeks. Let's make it happen.
Last question before we wrap up. I'm really excited to ask you this. Pranks on set. I always need to know about this. What is there one? There had to be something. It's such a big cast and a crew. There had to be one.
Pete, I'm the culprit.
Oh, okay.
I am the culprit. I am the problem. It's me. That was a Taylor Swift reference, by the way.
But yeah, I did.
No,
very timely of you.
I'm gonna answer your question, but I have the VKs, the villain kids of the set of the movie. We have vlogs coming out where we vlogged our whole set experience.
And is it just you pranking them all the whole time?
Yeah, I'm editing them right now, and I'm like, I snuck up on my friends like 3 times now. Maybe that was a few too many, but no, there's definitely been a lot of shenanigans. A lot of us were in the same hotel, so we were like knocking on each other's doors and running away and messing around with each other, and it's just such a kind, energetic, lovely cast to work with. I'm trying to think of a funny moment that I could tell you about. I was just talking to another interviewer the other day about this, but Josh, our friend Josh, he accidentally pulled the fire alarm one night in our hotel. And I guess this isn't a prank, but it's a funny story. The entire place evacuated, and he's running out into the street like the firemen are coming in, and it's this whole debacle. And he texts our group chat, and he's like, "Guys, I accidentally pulled the fire alarm. Like, I'm freaking out." And we're just like, "Oh, what is going on?" So there's been good times, wonderful memories.
I can't wait for people to see those vlogs. Those vlogs are gonna be great. It's it's gonna be so good. And Descendants: The Rise of Red on Disney Plus, July 12th. So it's around the corner. Peter, so great chatting with you, man. Thanks so much for your time.
Yeah, wonderful meeting you, and it's great to share a name with someone so cool.
Oh, I appreciate that. Likewise, man. We have a cool name for sure. Spelled differently, but it's Peter and Peter. It's the same name. Your Instagram account is the best way for people to keep update with everything, right?
Totally.
Is it just your name?
Yeah, Peter Lindell. Peter with a D, and I'm on TikTok as well, but it's a little more aviation stuff on there. So.
Oh, absolutely. That's so cool, though. That's so awesome. I have a feeling a lot of people are going to ask you about your pilot stuff. I just have a feeling.
I think so, too.
PopTurnative, youtube.com/PopTurnative for previous episodes. PopTurnative.com has other content as well. You, of course, can catch Peter Lindell as Morgie in Descendants: The Rise of Red. Going to be streaming on Disney Plus July 12th. Until next time, it's Peter and PD Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to PopTurnative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of PopTurnative on YouTube.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.